This story is titled, He Was My Brother, My Best Friend, My Shadow, until one fight tore us apart. I thought he'd cool off. Instead, he got arrested, trying to prove a point. Then came the mysterious packages, the prison escape attempt, and the headlines. Now he's serving 20 years and I never got to say I'm sorry. I'm writing this from the corner of a half-packed living room, surrounded by boxes I don't remember filling, at 3:47 a.m. I haven't slept, haven't eaten, just pacing between memories, rereading old texts, trying to figure out where the hell it all went wrong. I keep thinking if I can trace the moment, the exact second it flipped, maybe I'll stop feeling like I'm the one who lit the match. I didn't even know my own brother, to be honest. Now I'm just dealing with his problems. It turns out he had plenty of them. I used to think there'd be time to fix it, to talk, to laugh about how stupid it all was. But time ran out and now my brother's in prison. 20 years, armed robbery, assault, something with federal mail. Hell, I don't even know anymore. All I know is the last time I saw him, he was slamming my bedroom door so hard it cracked the frame, and I never said I was sorry. Harrison, that's his name, 26. He was my shadow as a kid, always tagging along, copying my clothes, laughing at my dumb jokes. He was loud, chaotic, too smart for his own good, but he loved hard. Reckless, yeah, but loyal. And somewhere along the way, that loyalty split down the middle, turned into something else. He used to be my best friend. Now he's a mugshot. And I can't stop thinking about the last night everything still felt halfway normal. A Sunday, late April. I'd just come back from a work trip, exhausted, still in my suit. Mom had made meatloaf, which no one likes, but she insists is family tradition. Harrison was in the garage, messing with an old stereo he swore he'd fix. Dad was upstairs, probably asleep in the recliner. It should have been just another forgettable day. But then we fought. Not like brothers do, not over Xbox or who ate the last donut. This was real, ugly, the kind of fight where things get said that scrape bone. It started stupid. I asked if he'd paid back the money I spotted him last month. $200, nothing crazy, just rent help. He got defensive, said I was always holding things over his head. I said he never took anything seriously. He called me a bootlicker. I said he was a parasite. It spiraled. Shouts turned into threats. He threw a glass. I flinched. He stormed out. I slammed my door. And I never saw him again. Not before the arrest. Not before the headlines. Not before the packages started showing up, wrapped in duct tape and dread. Not before the prison transfer. I didn't even know he tried to escape until I read it online. His name bolded in black next to the words armed confrontation and maximum security. I should have called. I should have said something, but I didn't. I thought he'd cool off. And now, it's too late for that. You know that phrase. He could talk his way out of a grave? That was Harrison. Charmer, con man, class clown, whatever you needed him to be. And people loved him for it. Teachers, girls, even cops once or twice. He had this stupid, lopsided smile that made people forgive him before they even realized they were mad. My mom used to call him her sunshine boy. My dad just called him the future. Meanwhile, I was the responsible one, the one who kept score, the one who got straight A's but never got the same applause. I was invisible unless something needed fixing. Bills, broken locks, car batteries. But Harrison? He could crash mom's car, lie about it, and still get money for gas the next day. Growing up, I used to think we were a team. Harrison and me against the world. He hated sleeping alone, so he'd drag his blanket into my room and pass out on the floor. We'd stay up making shadow puppets, whispering about what we'd do when we got out of this town. He wanted to be a DJ. I wanted to be anything but broke. But high school changed him. Or maybe it just sharpened the parts he always had. He started skipping class, lying more. Once I caught him stealing from my dresser, just loose change, but still. He told me it was for lunch. A week later, I found out he'd bought weed. I confronted him and he laughed. Said, "Chill, man. You think you're better than me because you're boring?" That word, boring, he used it like a weapon. After he dropped out, everything shifted. Mom stopped asking where he was going. Dad started drinking more. And I started cleaning up Harrison's messes in silence. Parking tickets, rent gaps, a DUI I helped him keep off the books. I thought I was helping him. I thought that's what family did. But every favor felt like a cut. And every "thanks, man" he tossed over his shoulder just made it worse. By the time he turned 25, he'd lived in 4 different apartments, wrecked 2 cars, and borrowed money from half the family. Still, every Christmas, he got the biggest gift under the tree. When I mentioned it once, my mom looked me dead in the eye and said, "He needs more than you do." That's when it started cracking for real. The resentment, the imbalance, me always giving, him always taking. And somehow, I was the bad guy for not doing it with a smile. The night we fought, I said something I can't take back. "You're gonna end up dead or in jail and I'm not saving you next time." And Harrison? He just smiled, that lopsided, smug smile, and said, "Then I guess I'll do it without you." I didn't know those would be the last words between us. If I had, I don't know. Maybe I still would have said them. Because the truth is, by then, part of me wanted him gone. Not in a prison cell, not in cuffs, but just away. And now, he is. It was a Thursday when the first package showed up. No return address. No markings except my name, written in blocky Sharpie letters that looked just a little too careful. Inside, a cassette tape. Just that. No note, no explanation. Like it had time traveled from the 90s and landed on my doorstep as a curse. I laughed at first. I thought maybe it was a prank. Harrison used to do stuff like that. Send weird thrift store junk to his exes or mail me DVDs of horror movies we watched as kids just to mess with me. But something about this felt off. The next morning, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. County Jail. A woman's voice. Mr. Green, we need to confirm some details regarding your brother Harrison's property. My stomach dropped. Turns out he'd been arrested 2 nights before for breaking and entering. Not just some random house either. He'd tried to rob a pawn shop that was still open, armed. They found him in the back office, holding a BB gun like it was the end of the world. He didn't even try to run, just sat down and waited for them. He gave them my name as emergency contact. And here's the kicker. He said the tape was part of a project. That was all they'd tell me. I didn't go see him. I told myself it was because I was busy or because I needed time to process. But really, I was scared. Not of him, of what he'd become, of the fact that he wasn't even trying to get out of it. No lawyer, no tears, just acceptance. Like this was inevitable. And then the second package came. This time, a flash drive. I plugged it in like a damn idiot. A folder popped up. PROOF. Inside, scanned receipts, emails, a letter addressed to someone named D, and pictures. Grainy surveillance footage of Harrison over and over again in places I couldn't explain. An airport, a post office, a shipping warehouse. He was moving something. I didn't know what, or for who, or why, but it was bad. Bigger than a pawn shop. Bigger than weed money or dumb scams. The last file was a video. Harrison, sitting cross-legged in what looked like a storage unit, staring into the camera. If you're watching this, you probably hate me. Fair, but I swear to God, I'm not the villain in this story. They are. All of them. And if I don't make it out, tell Mom I tried. I couldn't breathe. I'd spent years thinking he was a fuck-up with a savior complex. But now, I didn't know what to believe. Update 1. Okay, wow. I didn't expect this to blow up the way it did. I read through like 300 comments last night while sitting in my friend's guest room, eating dry cereal out of the box because apparently grief turns me into a raccoon. A bunch of you said I should have cut ties with Harrison years ago. Others asked if I ever really saw him. Some of y'all called me cold. A few said I was probably just like him, secretly. And that's why it hurt so much. Honestly, fair. But here's the thing. I thought I was done. I thought I'd buried it. We fought, he left, I moved on. But these damn packages, the video, the phone calls, they cracked something open I didn't even realize was still bleeding. And then came the headlines. I woke up this morning to 4 missed calls and a text from my cousin. All caps. Turn on the news. Local segment. Jail escape attempt. 2 inmates. One identified as Harrison Green. I nearly dropped my phone. The footage they showed was grainy, taken from some prison corridor. You could see Harrison and another guy making a break for a maintenance door. A guard tackled the other one. Harrison made it another 20 feet before hitting a wall of bodies. They dragged him back in chains. They said he had ties to a domestic smuggling ring and was suspected in a larger mail fraud investigation. They called him dangerous. They called him clever. And then, God help me, they showed that same clip of him from the flash drive, the one where he's sitting cross-legged saying, "I'm not the villain." It was on TV. That's when it hit me. Whatever he got into, it was real. Not just Harrison being Harrison, not just petty crime or dumb decisions. This was something organized, deliberate, and maybe he wasn't trying to clear his name. Maybe he was trying to expose something. And maybe, just maybe, I wasn't supposed to get those packages by accident. I thought walking away made me safe, but I think he left me a fuse. I haven't opened the 3rd package yet. Yeah, there's another one. It came this afternoon. Same handwriting, same duct tape. It's sitting in the corner of the room right now like it's breathing. I waited until midnight to open it. Not on purpose. I just sat there for hours staring at it. Like if I looked hard enough, maybe it would tell me what was inside. Or maybe I was hoping I'd blink and it'd vanish. But it didn't. So I cut the tape. Inside was a stack of Polaroids. 37 of them, to be exact. No labels, no names, just photos. Some were blurry. Most looked like they were taken in a hurry. Mail trucks, storage lockers, people, a woman at a diner, a man in a red hoodie handing something off in a parking lot, a post office loading dock, and in 6 different photos. Harrison, always in the background, always watching. In one, he's got a phone to his ear, looking over his shoulder like he knew he was being followed. The last photo hit me the hardest. It was of me, outside my apartment, carrying groceries, from like 3 months ago. I remember the day because it rained, and I dropped the eggs. I didn't even know he was there. I didn't even know he'd been there. There was no note, but on the back of the photo of me, he'd scrawled 2 words in red ink. They're watching. I don't know who they is. The cops? The people he was trying to expose? The ones he kept mentioning in the tapes? I sat on the floor for hours trying to make connections, but it was like piecing together a puzzle with half the pieces missing and the rest flipped upside down. I couldn't sleep. Around 4 a.m., I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. You have something that doesn't belong to you. No punctuation, no emoji, just that. And then it vanished, like literally, deleted before I could screenshot it. I called the number, disconnected. Now I'm scared, like real scared. Not the kind of scared you feel when your sibling's in trouble. This is a different animal. This is gut level, something is wrong fear. Harrison knew something. He was trying to tell me, warn me, drag me in maybe, but I don't think it was to hurt me. I think it was the opposite. I think he thought I could finish what he started, but I don't even know where to start. I'm going to try and track down someone who might know more. An old friend of his, maybe. I remembered a name from the folder on the flash drive. D. Simmons. I don't know if that's a real name or an alias or some nickname he used, but it's all I've got. Turns out D. Simmons isn't just a name. She's a person. Real. Breathing. And pissed. Took me hours to find her. I scraped through Harrison's old contacts, cross-referenced some old Facebook posts, even dug through the metadata on the photos from the flash drive. One of them was tagged with a diner in Asheville. So I drove. She was sitting at the counter when I walked in. Same woman from the Polaroid. Red beanie. Coffee in one hand, cracked phone in the other. I slid into the booth across from her without asking. She didn't look up. You're his brother, she said. I didn't even get a hello. I asked how she knew. She said, same jawline, same eyes, but yours aren't cracked yet. We sat in silence for a minute. I ordered black coffee just to have something to hold. Finally, I asked, what the hell was he into? She laughed. Bitter. You mean what were we into? And then she started talking. It was a scheme at first. Easy money. Package forwarding, rerouting return shipments, forging tracking labels, all tied to a back-end system that fed into something deeper. Fake businesses, shell accounts, stolen identities. At first, it was just a way to stay ahead. Rent, food, survival. Then it got bigger. Too big. Harrison wanted out. They don't let you out, she said. They watch you. They use your family against you. He thought if he built a paper trail if something ever happened, they'd know where to look. That's what the flash drive is. That's what he gave you. I felt sick. He hadn't been trying to scare me. He was protecting me the only way he knew how, by handing off the evidence. Making sure someone outside had it. I asked her what she knew about the escape attempt. Her face went dark. He didn't plan it. That wasn't him. Someone wanted him dead in there. The escape was a setup. My blood ran cold. I left the diner with an address scribbled on a napkin. Wendell Storage Unit 137. She said it was the last place Harrison visited before the arrest. Said he left something there just in case. I don't know what's in that locker, but I'm going tomorrow. Because whatever Harrison started, I think it's still in motion. And I think someone wants me to finish it. Update 2. Okay, this is the part where everything splits. Where it stops being, my brother messed up, and starts being, we're in something way bigger than us. I went to the storage unit. Wendell Storage, Unit 137, tucked between an abandoned paint shop and a vape store that hasn't had a customer since 2019. I paid cash. The woman behind the desk barely looked up. She just handed me the keys and said, it's been paid through the year. Good luck. The minute I opened that locker, the smell hit me. Dust, old paper, and something like gasoline. Inside was a folding table, a single chair, a plastic bin, and taped to the wall with painter's tape. A message scrawled in thick black marker. If you're here, they know. Move fast. Underneath that was a list of names. 12 of them. I recognized 3 from the photos on the flash drive. One was the woman from the diner, D. Simmons. The others? No idea. Next to each name, a number. Not phone numbers. I think bank accounts. Maybe routing numbers. Maybe something worse. I opened the bin. Inside, burner phones. 4 of them. All charged. All wiped. Each had one contact saved. Just a single letter. A, J, K, R. And then I saw it. Another flash drive. Labeled, insurance. Don't open unless it's over. But I did open it. Of course I did. It's worse than I thought. Harrison wasn't just tangled in something shady. He was building a case. A full-blown dossier. Names. Financial records. Payoffs. Internal memos from a private logistics company tied to government contracts. One memo mentioned plausible deniability. Another one was worse. It had my name on it. As an unwitting participant. A fallback scapegoat. Someone expendable. That's when my phone rang. Not my phone. One of the burner phones. The one labeled R. I answered. A voice said, you should have left it locked. Then silence. Not even a click. Just dead. I don't know what Harrison did to piss these people off. I don't know if I'm supposed to run, go to the FBI, burn everything. But I know this. They're watching. And now they think I'm him. I thought keeping it quiet would protect me. I was wrong. It's been 3 days since the storage unit. I've barely slept. I turned off all my location services, switched phones twice, haven't gone home. I've been couch hopping between friends who don't ask questions. I told them I was just dealing with family stuff. Not a lie, technically. Just not the kind of family stuff anyone imagines. I decided to test it. I uploaded one of the documents from the drive. Nothing major, just a low-level transaction log, to a cloud account I created anonymously. 30 minutes later, I got a call from my actual phone. Blocked number. "You're making a mistake," the voice said, calm, like a dentist before a root canal. "You're not your brother. Stay that way." I haven't turned that phone back on since. But the real kicker came yesterday. I was walking down the street in daylight, hoodie up, sunglasses on, full paranoid freak mode. I ducked into a copy shop to print something, an old photo of me and Harrison from when we were kids. Don't ask me why. Maybe I just wanted to remember who he was before all this. The guy behind the counter looked familiar, bald, big shoulders, too clean for a copy shop. He handed me the print, then smiled and said, "Your brother ever figure out the codes?" I froze, didn't say a word. Just took the print and walked out. And then I ran. I ran until I hit an alley, bent over, gasping. My whole body was shaking. Because that guy, he's in the background of 2 photos from the flash drive. They're not just watching. They're everywhere. And I'm done pretending I'm not involved. Which brings me to tonight. I've decided to burn it all down. Not literally, yet, but I'm done hiding. I emailed an investigative journalist from a podcast Harrison used to listen to, told her I have something big, dangerous, government-tied, maybe corporate. I didn't give my name, just a burner email and a time. If she shows, I'll hand over the drive. All of it. Let someone else carry this weight. Maybe she can do what Harrison couldn't. But if she doesn't, then I'm finishing what he started, even if it kills me. So yeah, she showed. The journalist. Her name's Adriana Vega. Voice like sandpaper and silver, the kind that makes you lean in without knowing why. She didn't bring a crew, didn't bring a mic, just a manila envelope and this terrifying kind of calm. We met in a church parking lot, neutral ground. I parked 2 blocks away and walked. She sat on the hood of a Corolla with her legs crossed like she was waiting for coffee. "You the brother?" she asked. I nodded, handed her the drive. She didn't even look at it. "I've been following this for a year," she said. "Your brother tried to go through legal channels, whistleblower lines, got stonewalled at every turn. Then he started going rogue. You knew?" I asked. She nodded. "But I didn't know he had a plan." "This?" She held up the drive. "This is a plan." We didn't talk much after that. She asked if I wanted credit. I laughed, said I wanted distance, and then she handed me the envelope. It had a transcript of a voicemail. Harrison had sent it to her 2 days before the pawn shop incident. She said she kept it because it never made sense. Until now. I've played it 37 times. His voice is tired, ragged. "If this reaches you, I'm probably locked up or dead. But if it doesn't, if by some miracle you get this and I'm still breathing, tell my brother I'm sorry. Tell him I never wanted to drag him into this. But he was the only one I trusted. Always has been. He thinks I don't remember, but I do. The broken arm. 4th grade. He told the teacher he fell down the stairs. Protected me when I didn't deserve it. I've been trying to repay that ever since. Even if it doesn't look like it. Even if he never forgives me. I had to try. I sat in my car for a long time after that. Just sat there with the envelope in my lap and that voice echoing in my skull. He remembered. After all these years. After everything. And I never got to say it back. Adriana published the story today. It's already on the front page of 2 local papers. Might not seem like much. But it's a start. She told me to lay low, but she'll keep digging. And if anything happens to her, she sent copies of the drive to 3 other journalists. Harrison built a fuse. And now it's lit. I thought the fire would be louder. You know? Like headlines, SWAT teams, explosions. But it wasn't. It was quiet. Too quiet. The article dropped, and for a minute everything held its breath. No official denial. No confirmation. Just silence. Like the world was waiting to see if it was real. That's when the letters started. 3 of them. All handwritten. All addressed to me in Harrison's exact slanted, looping script. But the postmarks? They weren't from the prison he was last held in. They were from a federal detention facility 3 states away. One that hadn't even existed on the Bureau of Prisons' official roster until last year. Inside the first envelope, a page torn from a notebook. On it, Harrison had written, "They moved me. I think they're trying to disappear me. Tell Vega. I'm not dead. Not yet." The second one was shorter. "If someone comes asking questions, don't tell them anything. Don't go with them. Not even if they show ID." And the third? It was a drawing. Just a sketch of a key. Below it, a date. 3 weeks from now. No explanation. I was still staring at that drawing when the knock came. Middle of the afternoon. Suburbia. Birds chirping. Perfectly normal until it wasn't. A man in a beige jacket. Early 50s. Average build. Looked like a mail carrier or someone's uncle. He smiled. Too wide. "Hi there," he said. "You must be Michael Green." My heart stopped. I never use my full name. He said he was from a post-release rehabilitation network, wanted to talk about Harrison, said he might be eligible for early transfer under a new program, asked if I had any recent communication from him. That smile never dropped. I lied. Said I hadn't heard from him in years, that we weren't close. He nodded like he didn't believe me, but didn't care. Well, he said, if anything shows up, you'll let us know, right? I nodded. He handed me a card. No company name, no logo, just a phone number and the word compliance. He turned and walked down the driveway like he'd just dropped off Girl Scout cookies. That night, I burned the letters, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. I scanned them first, saved them in 3 cloud accounts under 3 fake names, sent 1 copy to Vega, and then I did the only thing that felt right. I booked a ticket for the town Harrison's letter mentioned, because whatever he meant by that date, I have to be there. I owe him that much. The date circled my brain like a storm. 3 weeks. A countdown to something I didn't understand. The drawing Harrison sent, just a sketch of a key, haunted me. Not metaphorical, literal. A jagged-edged key with 1 chipped tooth. I could see it every time I blinked. So I went. Small town in Kentucky. Nothing on the map but 3 gas stations, a shuttered high school, and a dying downtown that looked like it hadn't seen a tourist since the 90s. I didn't know what I was looking for. But Harrison did. I found the house on the outskirts. A rundown split level with ivy choking the porch and a sagging roof. It matched the background in one of the flash drive photos. Barely, but it was there. It was unlocked. Inside, everything smelled like mildew and secrets. Dust, faded rugs, a cracked photo of our family from when I was 10, sitting on a crooked shelf like a warning. I hadn't been in this house since I was 12, our grandmother's place. I didn't even know it was still standing. The basement door creaked open like something out of a horror movie. And there it was, a small safe, old, rusty, but the key, the one from Harrison's drawing, was sitting on top. I laughed because of course it was. He'd left it there for me. Probably before he ever got arrested, like he knew. I opened the safe. Inside, a tape recorder. One of those ancient handheld ones with a label that just said, Final. I pressed play. If you're hearing this, I'm gone. Not dead, probably, but gone enough. They're never going to let me out, Mike. Not the way people think. You can't just spill secrets and walk away. I tried to do this clean. I failed. But if you made it here, it means you didn't. It means you kept going. There's a drive in this safe. It's not the same one I gave you. It's worse. Names, faces, whole departments. People you've seen on TV smiling like saints who are anything but. I didn't want to leave it with the first batch. It's too dangerous. But you always knew how to finish what I started. Tell Mom I forgive her. Tell Dad I don't. And tell Dee she was right to run. And you, stop blaming yourself. You didn't fail me. You tried to save me when nobody else would. Even if it was just once. Even if it was years ago. I never forgot that. And now, it's your move. Then static. And just like that, it was over. I found the second drive. It's with me now. Locked up, backed up, duplicated 6 ways. I haven't decided what to do with it yet. The truth is, I'm scared. Not of them. Not anymore. I'm scared of what it'll do to me. Because once you pull that trigger, there's no putting the safety back on. Harrison's gone. But he left me a war. And this time, I'm not walking away. That's the end of the story, for now. But if I ever publish what's on that second drive, I'll be back. They'll all be back. And maybe then, finally, someone will ask the right question. How far would you go to protect the person who broke you? Thanks for reading.